has the goal to get Chicago to that point. And I'm not sure what the plan is for Illinois. But also, coupled with that, a lot of the states that are really forward-leaning on this are unfortunately on the West Coast. So you got states like Washington, Oregon, and California that are kind of the spearheads for the energy revolution. But also, one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of the states that the political arena called red states are starting to see the light, I guess you could say. So states like, saw in the movie Texas, Nevada, those states are also starting to come around. But then you also have states like Florida or Oklahoma or the Dakotas that are still fighting against it. So it's going to be a tough fight. In the Midwest, the problem that we have is that we don't have the amount of sunshine that those other states have. Those states that were highlighted in the movies are higher elevation states. The Midwestern states, as far as geography and topography, are states that are closer to sea level. So our days of sunshine and also our seasonal changes don't allow us to see as much sunshine. So it's harder to push those types of renewable energy programming. But I would say, I'm sorry, did you have a question? Oh, okay. So I will say that one of the things I wanted to ask was, out of all of the different types of renewable energy opportunities you saw, just anybody, which one do you think would work in our area or in our city? Everybody agree with wind?
I can see that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. So anything else that struck people, what about this movie would lead you to want to alter or change or find out more about how to get to a point where you can be a part of the change, as they say? Anybody?
In a scene in the movie, they talk about Buffalo, New York, and Buffalo, New York, to me, seems like it has the same climate as Chicago, probably, and they're building something out there right now. So, you know, and it seems like it has the same type of past structure as far as like I know in Chicago or in Gary or steel mills. And so the things that we used to rely on big in our area, we couldn't have the same type of thing like how Buffalo is doing right now with how they're, you know, managing the area. They're moving forward with something new as far as the solar.
Yes, absolutely.
I think too, one of the states that's leading the way in solar development, community solar, and that type of thing is the state of Minnesota, which is a climate similar to ours also. And they have community solar projects where you can, they have websites where you can enter your zip code into the website and they can tell you where a community solar development is near you that you can join. And so I think Illinois can get there too eventually, particularly if we can combine solar with storage, which is coming online more and more now as the price of storage comes down and battery technology. And so, so Illinois can do it too. If Minnesota can do it, I think we can do it.
Yes.
So I have rooftop solar. I have, I think, probably the only multi-unit building in South Shore that has solar. And unfortunately, I couldn't get all 4 of my units on the solar because my roof wasn't big enough, but I have 2 of the 4 and the common areas. And I was part of the Chicago solar program. I had it installed almost 4 years ago now. And unfortunately, when Governor Ronner came into office, he did away with the Illinois tax credits. So I would be cash positive right now if I would have been able to get those tax credits. So we have our own state issues. That's why I wanted to just bring that out there. We have our own state issues. Where Ron is seems to be pro-solar, we in Illinois don't have that option, and that would make solar much more affordable to the average person if we still had those tax credits available.
Yes.
For a family unit, say a 3-bedroom home, 3 or 4 bedroom home, approximately bungalow, approximately what kind of cost are you talking as far as solar panels are concerned?
Well, you know what? That's a question that one of our action table participants will be able to answer. If you have a question like that, I would reserve it for when we get to the action table participants, and we can direct that question to one of them. I don't want to give you an estimate. They'll be able to give you something more on the line of how you can calculate that answer.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. You first, sir. You had your hand up?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I found it interesting when he brought up the topic of efficiency. And that's something that Chicago being a cold city, like we spend a lot of money on keeping our houses warm. And that's an opportunity we all have to participate in that as far as sealing up cracks in buildings. It's a long list of simple things. And, it's a great way to save money and get out there at the same time and reduce the need for more power too.
Oh, me? Thank you, that's fine. I wanted to echo 2 points that Ryan just made about energy efficiency. I think ComEd and some other people used to say, and many people actually will say, the cheapest energy is energy you don't use. So if we could reduce how much energy we use, and like the house that I live in is pretty drafty, and I just think that the money I pay is literally going out the window with the draft. So if we can, I think it's great if we are better informed about the programs that exist through either ComEd or other suppliers or distributors about how we can reduce our energy use. And then also to the comment that was made about Buffalo, New York, I think when we think about the full picture, beyond just the solar panels on our house, when we think about the jobs, the manufacturing, because I think that's the center that they were building out there, this is big. And the opportunities for America as a whole are pretty big, but then also for our pockets as citizens, there are opportunities to explore it. So I hope that we start to see more information being shared amongst ourselves as community members in our city and across our state about what we can all do.
Yes.
So I guess there's a few things that I'd like to bring out, to double tap it on both of your questions. The parts of the film and what things lead to advocacy. And when we start talking about the film, the thing that had the most weight to me was that there are different layers of power. And I think that she just mentioned being a citizen. As a citizen, sometimes it's difficult to really understand the intricacies of all the workings of government. And I would, even if you don't know the explicit board, commission, study group, whatever, I think what has to happen is that we do need to make sure that when we're talking to politicians or we're talking to other legislators, regulators, etc., that we make sure that we poke them on, well, who are you responsible for? Who do you plan to appoint? And that goes the gamut from finance all the way to the technical commissions. And then the other thing in terms of citizenry, whereas advocates may be able to get into the weeds of all the nuance of all these different commissions and technical groups and what have you, as a citizen, maybe that first step really is efficiency, conservation, and communication. Like just bringing someone along to an event like this to say, I don't have all the answers, but this is something to raise awareness. And that might be the first step as a general citizen that allows these issues to be addressed a little bit better than being overwhelmed by the enormity of it all.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this segment of the program up, and now we can direct some specific questions to our panel. But before we have the action table participants, I will now have them come up and introduce their programming to you. We're going to start with Ms. Naomi Davis of Blacks and Green.
Greetings, cousins. How y'all doing?
Hi.
Doing all right? I want to thank One Earth. I don't know if you have ever met any of the team members who bring this great information to you, but they're some amazing and tireless workers. We're just really grateful that they're able to work on a very small budget to do community education. Because as the gentleman pointed out at the back of the room, it's more than a notion to try to figure everything out, know what there is to know, and take action in your interest. So